I'm not sure exactly when my family became obsessed with antlers. When we were young, we spent lots of time walking the hills and occasionally ran across a stray antler. We would pick it up and bring it home and really never think much about it again. Then sometime after high school, my younger brothers started taking the hobby much more serious. I remember them coming home one time with a stack of antlers that covered the entire bed of the Jeep they were driving. It was during those years that the hobby became much more than a fun weekend outing. Antler hunting became an all-consuming obsession. One of the first things people ask when I tell them that I antler hunt is, what do you do with all of them? The truth? We don't do much with them. Most of them end up stacked in a pile in a corner of the garage looking like an overgrown porcupine. The older antlers end up laying in the yard to rot in the sun. Sure, they're worth money, and we do sell a few here and there, but money's not the reason that we hunt. Another question people inevitably ask is, did you kill all of these animals? I answer this question with a smile because it is obvious the person does not know that every year deer, elk, and moose lose the antlers on their head. They just fall off. Antler hunting has nothing to do with killing. It is all about finding. There is a thrill in walking over a ridge, pulling up the binoculars, and spotting the pearly tine of an elk horn sticking out of a piece of sage. It's such a rush that even though the antlers are inert objects, we still have the tendency to run towards the antlers like they might get up and sprint away. Miles, that's how a person finds lots of antlers. The more a person walks, the more antlers a person will have to put in the pack. Many of our trips start when the sun is just barely making a trace in the eastern sky, and they end long after the daylight has given way to a starry night. Antler country is big country. More than once, I've turned to look back and see where the vehicle was parked, only to see a speck through the binoculars on a distant ridge. It also helps to be the first to walk over a ridge. Many of the antlers are spotted several hundred yards away. If you're the first to glass a hill, then you have a better chance of finding more. This is a competition within the family. Though there is a modicum of competition in our hunts, there is also a great deal of respect for the family rules. Number 1, the first to spot it gets to pick it up. Number 2, the first to find an antler in a set gets the set. This can be a bummer if the antlers are big, but at least they stay in the family. Number 3, if someone finds a big antler, you help look for the match, even though you know you don't get the match when you find it. Number 4, if you say you're going to meet on the next ridge, make sure you do. No one likes to be sitting on a hill waiting when there are more horns to be found. I guess when it comes down to it, antler hunting is just another way to spend time in the great outdoors. And just like any other pastime, looking for antlers can become an all-consuming passion if one lets it.